right, I've got this on Roman numeral 7 on the, well, did we finish? Where did we go? No, we're on Roman numeral 6. Yeah, all right.
Evolution, a science country.
Geraldine, take it away.
So, with number 2 there, the law of cause and effect. To every action there is an opposite and equal reaction.
No, hold on, we already did, where are you?
We did that one. It's number 3 you need to start on.
The law of biogenetics
I think
demonstrates that life only comes from life.
I thought we did that. Aren't we
We're
on
over here, look. We're,
Roman numeral
I'm
6A?
here at,
Evolutionary hoax, yeah.
Yeah, we're on Roman numeral 6A.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, you're fired.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, too much.
not too much, sorry. Go ahead.
So, evolutionary hoaxes, scams and abuses. So, first,
oh yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, go ahead.
so dating methods, billions, millions, or just thousands of years old. So the first one there, date the fossils by the strata they are found in. Most scientists believe that layers of the Earth's crust, called strata, represent different time periods and were laid down over millions and even billions of years. In the 1800s, each layer was labelled by its depth and rock type. Then the fossils found within each layer were classified by that layer, such as Cambrian, Jurassic, Carboniferous, etc.
Excellent. You get an apple. Okay.
I know, yeah.
So what are they doing? They're coming along and they find, here's the surface, and they find layers, which are only laid down by water, okay? And they find fossils all throughout the layers, and they figured that the deeper the layer, the further back in time. So they made a guess that these guys are in the millions of years, these guys are only a couple of hundred years. It's a logical guess. So they started to date fossils down here older than the fossils up here. Makes sense. Bethany, number 2.
Date the strata by which fossils are found in it.
All right, hold. So the first way was you date the fossils by what strata they're found in. And the second way is you date the strata by what the fossils are found. So if I'm digging and I see 3 layers down, I'm going to date this strata, this layer, by the fossils that are in it. But how did I determine what the age of the fossil was?
Circular reasoning.
It is circular reasoning. But what strata was found in, and this is, they don't see the problem with this, but go ahead. I just want you to get the picture of this.
As time went on, strata were not found to be uniform in layering, and so the fossil type that was found in each strata was used to label the strata. The problem is this, based upon a preliminary assumption in the 1800s that all the strata in the world were laid down uniformly. All fossils and strata are classified based upon each other's preliminary labeling. The strata is identified by the fossils it contains, and the fossils are classified by the strata they are found in. Circular reasoning, not science.
Yeah. So it causes a lot of problems when you start to apply this. And number 3 there, Gleb.
Yeah. The flood ruined everything. A creationist approaches the problem from the vantage of the worldwide flood of Genesis 7 and 8, which started the fossils and strata in a cataclysmic, not uniform fashion. In other words, the flood messed everything up.
All right, so it'd be nice if I could measure, right now, here I am in Ireland, and I go 4 layers down, okay? I would expect it to be 60,000 years old, just my guess. Now I go over here to Australia, and I go 4 layers down. It's very interesting to think that you could come along and you could say, well, this 4th layer is the same as this 4th layer, and it's not. Everything has been just jostled and made crazy by a cataclysmic flood, not just rain falling, okay? So let's go on, number B, Bill, and 1.
So-called missing elements of human ancestry. Java man.
Spell it. Or pronounce it. Pithecanthropus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1890, a skull cap, femur, and 2 molar teeth were grouped together as belonging to the same person. The skull is that of an ape, but the teeth and the femur bone of a human. What is not published was that they were found 45 feet apart from each other, along with many other bones of apes, humans, and other animals. It was a grocery store parts to construct any animal you wanted. Java man has since been reclassified as human.
All right, so if I'm digging in a pet cemetery stroke human cemetery and I dig up some bones, I don't know what I'm finding, especially when they're 45 feet apart. Now, our cemeteries are kept separate, okay? But in those days, bones are just everywhere, and you're digging up and you find this. Well, these guys go together. No, they don't. Number 2, Jody.
Neanderthal man. Homo sapiens, Neanderthal so on and so on, in 1856.
In Neanderthal, Germany. That was an actual town. That's an actual city.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like the relief. A skull cap and leg bones were found. It was grouped with a set of skeletons found all over Europe that had the following characteristics: prominent eyebrow ridges, low forehead, long narrow brain case, protruding upper jaw, a strong lower jaw, lacking a chin. The overall skeletons were short and stooped over. Anthropologists believe it was the missing link between man and ape because it seemed to have shuffled along when walking. However, 150 years later, it is now admitted that these skeletons were of people that suffered from rickets and syphilis. Neanderthal man was just a variation of the modern human kind of disease.
Yeah, you've seen. I hate to use this illustration, but I am walking. Years ago, I used to walk through Mallow, or I would see very old ladies like this.
That's right, yeah.
And there was no hope of them ever getting up.
That's right.
But they were well in age. But you know, when disease takes a hold of you, you also become completely overbent. So they found all these bones that are all bent over, and they go, "Oh, he was a monkey." No, he had disease. Yeah. All right. Number 3.
The Piltdown man, Anthropus. In England in 1912, a human skull cap and an orangutan's jaw were grouped together, along with the tooth, as a hoax to prove another so-called missing link. It was believed by the scientific world for over 40 years until tested for age, only to find that the tooth had been filed down to look human and the jawbone stained to look as old as a skull cap.
Scientists aren't always honest, are they? So they so desperately want to prove that they're right. Number 4, the Peking man. Pecking man. No, that's women. Women. No, never mind, sorry.
Peking man. All the evidence of this ape man was lost in World War II, and it's not available for examination.
And yet you'll find people quoting, "Oh, the Peking man is a proof of human evolution." It doesn't exist. It evidently was destroyed in World War II. I don't know why, but whatever. Bill.
Nebraska man,
Pithecus.
Pithecus.
These are all on your test, don't worry. It will not go well.
It's an entire skeleton of an ape man was constructed based upon a single tooth of a supposed missing link.
Hold. Did you get the weight of that? They found a tooth,
Yeah.
and they said, "Oh, he looks like this. He's this tall. He's got this kind of hair," from a tooth. But that's how exaggerative evolutionists can be. Keep going, sorry.
The tooth was discovered to be a rare pig found in Paraguay.
So when your wife calls you a pig, she's right. No, sorry. Number 6. No,
No, it's
it's
German.
German.
Even again, it flies around us.
It does fly today.
Lucy. So, Ramapithecus
Excellent.
was once widely accepted as the direct ancestor of humans. It has now been realised that this skeleton is merely an extinct type of orangutan, not an early human.
And yet you'll find most of these still in science books, all proving evolution. And especially Lucy. Lucy is everywhere. And she's not. I don't know. They figured she was a female. So, and yet they call this science. So, biblical explanations now, Bethany.
Creation came about exactly as the Bible says it did in Genesis 1:1, where God simply created everything out of nothing. God was the first cause. We are the effect. From that initial creation material, God personally molded and fashioned the worlds and each creature therein. Genesis 2:7 And the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
Okay, so God formed him, breathed into him, verse 19.
And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
Well, this is cute. Back earlier, in chapter 1, all of the animals, birds came, particularly the birds, came out of the water. Now God has them come out of the ground. God doesn't care what he brings it out of. People find, well, which one was it? It was both. It's not like God is restricted. I can only use H2O to make a bird, or I can only use the ground. He used nothing to create everything. So just getting your mind a little bit opened here, and then Hebrews.
11:3. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Mm-hmm.
The initial creation was instantaneous, but the resulting finished work took 6 literal days to finish. Why 6 days? Not because God had a speed limitation, but rather to show a pattern for man's work week. Exodus 20, 9-11. "6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it."
Okay, each time you use the word day, day, day. 6 days, God made everything. 6 days we work. All right.
After the 6th day God stopped working. Genesis 2:2. "And on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made." And the universe has been carrying on the work of maintaining itself since then. Genesis 1:21. "And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, with which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth."
So God started off and he made whales. And then what did he do with the whales? He said, now, be fruitful. All right, so they carry it on. He created. All right, that's God's work. And then be fruitful, that's our work. That's life. Mm-hmm. Okay, keep going. 27, 28.
"So God created man in his image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth."
Okay.
There is nothing new now being created. Ecclesiastes 1:9. "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun."
All right, so creation was a one-time event, being fruitful, dying, I'm going to say death. That's not being spelled right. But anyway, we're in a cycle of childbearing and death and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. We're going along, but there's nothing new. The only time that things were new were back here. Okay, so whatever's been is, as a matter of fact, because of death, you actually have less and less and less. Not evolution, which says that we get more and more. So Christianity can't be syncretized. It can't be joined with evolution because the Bible is the opposite. It says everything started off good and alive and multiplying, and there's nothing new. It's just everything started off with everything there was. And evolution says, no. It started off very simply with just a dot of matter, and it's just been expanding and getting better ever since. You can't be a Bible-believing Christian and an evolution at the same time. They are totally different directions. All right, and then the last phrase there.
Which is exactly what Albert Einstein discovered about 3,500 years too late.
Yeah, Einstein discovered there's nothing new being made. All right, number B.
Macro versus microevolution. The evolutionist believes in something called macro or big evolution that allows for things to change vertically from one species to a higher level. This is also called transformation. This change process is assumed has never been observed and is totally unscriptural.
Yeah, you've never seen macro evolution. But number 2, Bill.
The creationist believes in something called micro or small evolution, which allows for organisms to change horizontally from black to red and to white, but still to be the same species. This is called variation and is observed in scientific and in scriptural.
And is scriptural, okay. So on the left side, you got a little thing that says there's macro or transformational change. Vertically means it goes from a rock to animals and from animals to man. It goes vertically in complexity. And that is assumed. It is done on blind faith, and it's unscriptural. Blind faith means there's no evidence for macroevolution. Then you get the right side, which is microevolution, which we do observe, and that is you observe a rose, and through hybrid cross-pollinating and all the things I'm not a botanist, so I'm not sure. But you can take a red rose and make purple roses and white roses and stuff. And you can go horizontally, but they never change from a rose into a hyacinthia. You also have dogs. You can hybrid dogs, and you can create some of the most awful poodles and dogs that you think should never exist. Okay, Now those are cool. Those are cool. All right, so let's get to the dinosaurs now. I knew you were coming. We just got to dinosaurs. Well done. All right.
162.
All right. Who was next?
Geraldine.
This is Geraldine's. You're up to you again.
No, I don't.
Doesn't matter.
Bill had the 3.
Oh, okay. It's Geraldine's turn again. Just take it, will you? All
Going
right.
the wrong way around.
I know. I did it different just for fun, and it sure has been a
But
curse.
there's
All right.
so much detail as well, it's like you're absorbed in the detail, and then it's like the anyway, any excuse to just get on with the journey.
Get on with it.
The dinosaurs, their existence, according to the Bible, dinosaurs did exist on Earth. The first type of dinosaur is referred to as in Job 40, 15 to 24.
And just before Job, and just before Psalms is Job. 40:15.
40. Yeah, 24, isn't it? So, what we're looking at there. Behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass, his bones like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees. in the covert of the reed and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadow, the willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw Jordan into his mouth. He taketh with his eyes, his nose pierceth through snares.
All right, so it's all describing a massive animal whose strength is in its center core, its belly. This creature has a tail that moves like a little whip. Is that what it says? Like you ever seen the back of a hippopotamus? I mean, a little bitty thing like that. No, this thing's like a cedar swinging. He can stand up and he can take in the view from way up high. His bones are strong pieces of brass. They're like bars of iron. This is a creature you can't fight. He's a dinosaur. And what's he called? Behemoth. Okay.
It's interesting how it sounds so similar to the Russian word for the hippo.
Yeah?
And behemoth, like behemoth. It's so similar, but then
it's not a hippo.
It's not a hippo at all.
No. Finish the last part. I want to hear you say this name. It's a scientific name. Another one.
And this was a land-based animal that would match a
Diplodocus. Diplodocus. Okay.
Diplodocus.
All right. B, Bethany.
The other dinosaur is referred to as blank. Job 41, 1.
All the way down. But I want you to soak up. All right. Listen to the description of this creature here.
Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook?
Polar. Tell me, what is he describing? What is he asking? This is God asking Job.
Well, can you catch him with a hook?
Excellent. It's like, this is a sea-dwelling creature. Do you think you can just go fishing for this guy? All right, so it's like, no. Okay, keep going.
Or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down?
All right, you're not going to snag him. 4 through 2.
Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee?
Now, what does that imply? What is he talking about? When would you speak soft words to somebody?
When they have you in their power, so you're
Excellent.
begging.
Yes. So it's like when a bully comes up and you say, please don't kill me, please don't hurt me. Is he going to beg you? Keep going.
Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever?
Or a pet.
Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens?
Let me show him off.
Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more.
If you ever could just touch him, that's all you'd ever be able to do. You ought to be happy. Keep going.
Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
You'd faint.
None is so fierce that dares stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me?
Wow. So why does God spend a whole chapter talking about Leviathan?
It shows his power.
Yes.
God's power.
He says, I made that thing. So if you're so terrified of him, why aren't you afraid of me? All right.
Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them.
So this is unique. Scales are quite unique. But this creature, they evidently, if they ever did... by the way, what would the modern world call this creature? It was before the word dinosaur was invented. It was a dragon. And there are lots of stories told of men who killed dragons and kept their skins because they were incredible. They were better than leather and so on and so forth. So he's describing his skin, okay?
They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered.
I love this word. Verse 18, sorry.
By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning.
So what's a neezing?
Well, he's breathing out his nose, isn't he?
Yeah, it's called sneezing. And all of a sudden flame would appear, which is kind of terrifying, all right?
Oh, dear.
Out of his mouth go burning lamps and sparks of fire leap out.
Are there any other animals in the world that actually have the ability to create, I don't know,
Reflux.
yeah, reflux. It is like reflux, but this is explosive. It actually is luminescent. It can be fire.
Bombardier beetles.
They mix two chemicals together
And
and
they
it
create-
scalds the attacker. Okay, so on a smaller scale, things kind of like this happen. All right, keep going.
Out of his mouth, okay, did I say that?
Yes.
Out of his nostrils goeth smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him.
So it's just cute. Sorrow is happy before him, meaning that you're doomed. Okay, it's not like sorrow, they all become happy when he comes. No, sorrow becomes joy. It's just sorrow is now happy that it's going to die. It's just a play on words.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings they purify themselves.
That sounds very Catholic to me. As soon as he breaks out of any kind of trap, what does everybody do?
They pray.
They pray and they're blessing themselves. I love my Bible. Go ahead.
The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire.
Now that's him pooping. Okay, so they can tell that these things, his refuse is hard as a rock. This creature is something so deadly. 31.
He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary,
Hoary meaning what?
white.
White. So it's glowing. It's like luminescent. Okay, it's bright.
Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride.
So what are all these flags? Dinosaurs, dragons. Man, that's a pride saying, this is a creature that represents us.
So, I have a question. If they skinned the dinosaurs, like you said, how did they do it if you can't?
I have no idea. They figured a way. Maybe it had decayed. I don't know. It wasn't very often. This is not something that, but if you ever did it, you'd brag. Okay, if you could kill one, it would be, so fanciful stories always tell of capturing and killing a dragon, but it would just be so rare. And now, how does God speak to Job about dinosaurs? As if they were 65 million years ago? He says, have you noticed?
As if he exists.
As if he existed then.
Yeah.
Okay? So, where are the dinosaurs now? I would guess they're all extinct. They've either been killed off or they've died. We do have a habit of driving animals away from us, don't we? Man, thankfully, there are no bears left in Ireland, amen? But there used to be. There used to be all kinds of wildlife. There's almost no wildlife left. Mankind sort of drives animals away, and maybe they just slowly died off.
But the Loch Ness monsters.
Yeah, right, no. Okay, so... Okay, finish that off there. B.
It was a water-based animal. It is probably the basis for all the legends about dragons.
Yes. And Ducey as well.
All the bones that scientists have unearthed and attached together represent animals were alive mainly before Noah's flood, only 4,500 years ago.
Why would we say they were alive before the flood?
Because we have fossils that are preserved.
Because they are fossils that had to have quick burying under pressure and sedimentation, so on and so forth. So you're not going to somebody say, well, where are the dinosaurs? Well, I don't know, but I know that they were here before the flood. All right? Okay, I'm just getting your brain to soak all this up, Geraldine.
Remember, all of them became extinct at the same time, pointing to a cataclysmic event.
Yes. In Colorado, I'm going to die here. In Colorado, there is a place, I don't know what it's called. Or maybe it's either Colorado or it's up in Montana or something. It's called Dinosaur National Park. And there are these mountains that have caves in them. So let's have this cave like this inside the mountain. And there is a pile of bones, 50, 60 feet. And there are literally tens of thousands of different animals, dinosaurs, bears, everything, all piled up on each other. It's like a city dump, but it wasn't a dump. Anybody got a guess how come in this mountain there's all this huge pile of thousands of different dinosaurs and animals all piled together?
Dinosaurs not allowed on the ark?
That's coming up.
Well, the question is, were all dinosaurs?
Yeah.
But yes, they were allowed. You'd have two of every kind.
Yeah, so
And they were probably the babies.
Yeah,
Okay?
so they would have existed after the flood. So
No, these are dead. These are fossilized.
Oh, yeah, but the ones that were on the ark were alive.
Yes. But I'm asking, why would there be a pile of bones of all these thousands of different animals that would have eaten each other? They would have never gotten along fine.
Yeah.
But here they are, up at the top of a
They
mountain.
were
Why?
swept along and drowned in the flood.
But why do you find them all? Why would you find them spread around everywhere?
Because I suppose the structure held them, the way the division was happening.
Just go a little deeper.
They would move to probably as high ground as possible.
As the water, they all are running from the water, and as the water rises, they're all piled. These animals that would have eaten each other, that would have been afraid of each other, are all trying to get up to higher ground, and then land began to pile on top of them. The water is raised up. So that proves, more proof, that there was a cataclysmic flood that would force all these animals into one place and then would bury them.
I've heard it said that the earth was pretty much flat until, the ground there weren't mountains until the flood where things raised up.
Correct. So this mountain probably was down here and it was shoved up. But these piles, as they went in there, as they found these caves, they found all these bones all piled up together. That would have been the highest point. I don't think it was actually flat. It had to be above the water because there was water at the time. And there was variation. As a matter of fact, it says that the waters exceeded 15 cubits above the mountains of those days. But they definitely weren't as high as the mountains we have today.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's just giving you a thought that they go, wow, what are all of these dinosaurs doing together? They're not having a barbecue. Okay? So it's just really cool. All right. Let's keep going. Number 2. Joanna.
Their demise, the cataclysmic event was the flood of Genesis chapters 7 to 9.
Excellent.
Will I read that?
No, that'd be 7, 8, and 9. We'll do that in church. Right? That's what I'm covering over the next few months. Go ahead.
Where water flooded the earth.
Yes.
Genesis 7 and 19. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered.
What do you think, Joanna? Have you ever been out to Killarney?
I think so, yeah.
Did you go through the Gap at Dunlow yet? It's a wonderful drive. You could walk it. And for men's camp, Bill remembers when we were young and we would race up the sides of that thing.
Still young.
You're still young in heart. I dare you to race up the hills now. But there are what in Ireland we call mountains, but they're only about 2,500 feet up. But that was probably the height of mountains at the time before the flood. Now there are mountains like Mount Everest 5 miles up. Okay, it's just phenomenal amount of height due to the flood. Okay, but the water flooded the earth. That was the demise of the dinosaurs. Number 3, Jeremiah.
Most of the dinosaurs that got off the Earth were extinct within the next 1,000 years due to changes that occurred in the Earth's atmosphere following the flood. A thinner atmosphere with no water canopy above the atmosphere that was present before the flood.
Where do reptiles normally live? Jeremiah. Do they live in cold climates? That's why we don't have snakes normally here, okay? And why they don't exist naturally further up northern latitude. They love warm climate, especially warm, wet climate. So dinosaurs lived in a world where there was a water canopy that blocked out ultraviolet light, cancer-causing light, and it was warm, higher concentration of air pressure. They loved it, and so they got bigger and bigger and bigger over time. After everything changed after the flood, human life lived shorter and shorter and shorter, and dinosaurs became smaller, smaller, smaller. So now you get these iguanas. And what are the other ones that are, some of them are really weird names, geckos, and they're tiny, okay? But if they didn't get eaten, and if they could just live and bask in the sun all the time, they would continue to grow. As a matter of fact, snakes, if you leave them alone, you just keep feeding them, some snakes, not all snakes, but snakes grow 15 feet, 20 feet. They just get bigger and bigger as long as they don't get poisoned or killed by man. Okay, so let's do number 4, Glenn.
Yeah. Another reason for the disappearance is that the dinosaurs were hunted by mankind, which want around your home.
You say, we got to get rid of that dinosaur. Let's go get him. All right. Let's move on to calculating the age of the universe. Bill, get your calculator out. Number 1.
So, calculating moon dust, exploring the moon has provided us with evidence of the trustworthiness of the Bible and the flaws of evolutionary thinking. Scientists know that many millions of tons of cosmic dust fall each year on both the Earth and the moon. We don't notice it here because of erosion, but there is almost no erosion on the moon, so the dust piles up continually on the moon's surface. If evolutionists believe the universe is billions of years old, the accumulation of dust there should be great, amounting to many feet in depth.
Now that's what they figured. That if the Earth is, if the moon is billions of years, and if dust just keeps falling on it, it should be feet thick of just cosmic dust just falling on it. Yeah. Okay, and they were afraid. That's why they sent some probes there to the moon first. They were called Surveyor, and they gently landed on a surface that was only a few, maybe half an inch, 3/4 of an inch thick of dust, which was like very shocking. Keep going.
Prior to the first moon landing, most scientists predicted that those lunar dusts could be 50 to 100 feet deep, preventing serious difficulties for the mooncraft. When man finally reached the moon, it was discovered that the dust was between 1/4 inch and 3/4 inches.
Or 3 inches deep.
3 inches deep. Since there is no method by which the dust could be carried away, the shallowness of it means that it has not been accumulating for long. That in turn means that the age of the moon and the Earth must be measured in thousands of years, not millions and billions, supposedly required for evolution to have taken place.
Okay, so you ever gone into a room you haven't been in a few weeks, and you just see dust because Geraldine has been sitting eating Maltesers every evening.
Happens all the time.
And you go in there, and what do? You go, Geraldine!
And there's spider webs in the sitting room and all that as well. Yeah.
So, but there's no wind on the moon. There's nothing that would move dust around. It just accumulates.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, Geraldine.
Nothing that would move dust.
Ooh, you're sleeping on the couch tonight. All right, number 2.
She always wants me to leave my boots outside. I don't know.
That's smart. You know that. Okay, number 2.
Half-lives. This is the study of the present rate of decay of an element. You track how fast something is decaying and calculate back how long it has been since it was 100%. Uranium is constantly breaking down into helium, yet the atmosphere has such a small amount of helium that the Earth couldn't be older than a couple of 100 million years old, not 4 billion years.
Okay, 405. So people will say, well, that doesn't help your case. It sure does. To say that, now I believe that everything was created already mature. Bible said man looked like he was 30 years old. Eve was ready to have a baby. Everything was ready to go. Chickens were already formed. So he already built in things that were not at 100%, but looked old. But just because something decays, and they say, well, uranium have to have been here since the creation of the earth. Well, it can't be, because it could only last a couple 100 million years. So right there you go, well, the earth can only be a couple 100 million years old. That really upsets the evolutionists. And I go, okay, you're going to stick to your 4.5 billion? I'm going to say, no, none of the measuring clocks work. They're all made to make a scientist look like a fool. All right? Now, there's nothing wrong with measuring time, nothing wrong with measuring age, okay? But unless it's my own personal age, right? But there is a built-in problem that God built in with this universe with age. Number 3.
The Earth's magnetic field is decaying at a rate that only 30,000 years ago it would have been so strong it would have pulled in the moon.
Yep. Number 4, Joanna.
The continents evolved too quickly for them to be billions of years old.
I asked my dad that one time. I said, we were looking at a mountain. He said, that shows the Earth is billions of years old. And I went, Dad, because we were driving. I said, Dad, how long do you think that mountain has been there? It's got to have been there 1 billion years. I said, according to the best science, all of our mountains are eroding at a rate of, and I forget what it was at that time, I can't remember it today. He said that gives it maybe maximum of 2 or 3 million years old. Maximum. Anyway. So it must have been put up a couple of million years ago. I said, fine, but you've got to stop sitting there looking at billions of years, all right? Number 5, Jeremiah.
The ocean should be super saturated with salt billions of years old.
If a lot of fish are constantly dying, guess what their byproduct is? Salt. And if you've been around for 1 billion years, you'd have a lot of salt. And it's not. It actually, even though you can't drink it because it's so salty, that's not like a super saturated amount of salt. I forget what the percentage of salt is in the water. It's like only 8% or 6%. Sorry, Bill?
They'll tell you about the Dead Sea, no?
Well, now, the Dead Sea is different, okay? But we're talking about oceans. So oceans is filled with death. The Dead Sea is dead. It's already dead. Number 6.
Comets only last 10,000 years. They could not be billions of years old.
So they came up with something called the Oort cloud. If you ever heard these guys talking about this comet Atlas has come out from outside of our galaxy and passing by our because they know that comets, have certain characteristics, but they keep seeing these comets come around. Halley's comet come around, and they go, well, they only last 10,000 years before they melt. So where do they come from? They go, there's an imaginary cloud out. This is what they'll say. Now, they don't use the word imaginary. But it's an imaginary cloud that keeps dropping new, like a god, dropping new comets into our solar system. And no, they've only been around for less than 10,000 years. That's all they can admit to. Number 7.
Human artifacts throughout the
Geologic
column, man-made artifacts such as that, hammer in
Cretaceous rock. Now, Cretaceous is below the Jurassic, where the dinosaurs were, and they found a hammer. Like, okay, that didn't work. Okay.
A human sandal branch with a
Trilobite
in
Cambrian rock. Now, Cambrian rock is down at the very bottom of all the sedimentary, where all the little bitty tiniest creatures were fossilized, and there's a sandal print. So somebody was out walking his dog and squishing a trilobite millions of years ago.
So
they point to the fact, number 7.
So where all human footprints and a handprint in Cretaceous rock point to the fact that all the supposed geologic periods occurring at the same time in the recent past.
Keep going. 8.
No,
you, Geraldine. Sorry.
The pressure of oil and natural gas is so high that it could not have been underground for millions of years, only for several thousand years, or else the pressure would have leaked out long before now.
Yeah, you can't put all that oil underground and natural gas and it just sit there. It's not sealed. It leaks. Number 9.
Population statistics. World population growth rate in recent times is about 2% per year. Normal growth rate throughout human history would be about half that number, with wars, disease, famine, etc., wiping out approximately 1/3 of the population on average every 82 years. So starting with just 8 people and applying these growth rates since the flood of Noah's day, about 4,500 years ago, would give a total human population at just under 6 billion people. Yet an evolutionary view will run into major difficulties, because if you started with one couple just 41,000 years ago, it would give us a total population of 2 times 10 to the 89th power people. The universe does not have space to hold so many bodies.
So, yeah, we can't have that many people living just 41,000 years. It just because if you didn't have war and stuff. It's an extreme thought, but the idea is human population can't go back that far, or else we would be all squished on top of each other.
I guess that's why they want to wipe everyone out today, because they feel that there is no God, and they feel that the population will get too much.
That's what Ted Turner believed with all his heart. He said, we've got to cull the human race down to 500 million people, and he was one of them that would be left. That's right.
At some point it will reduce. A lot of countries now are having population decrease, especially like Asian countries like Japan, European countries right now. I think the only countries that are actually having an increase is like African countries right now.
And Muslim countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's mainly through what they're doing with food,
And
vaccines,
propaganda.
everything else. So.
Number 10.
Divided living systems. A living cell is so awesomely complex that its interdependent components stagger the imagination and defy evolutionary explanation. A mineral cell contains over 60,000 proteins of 100 different configurations. The chance of this
Assemblage
occurring by chance is 1 in 10.
to 4,478,296.
This number is an absolute.
Yeah. Take that to the betting office. Last one, number 11.
Designing the human brain. The human brain is the most complicated structure in the known universe. It contains over 100 billion cells, each with over 50,000 neuron connections to other brain cells. This structure receives over 100 million separate signals from the total human body every second. If we learn something new every second of our lives, it would take 3 billion years to exhaust the capacity of the human brain.
Wow.
In addition to conscious thought, people can actually reason, anticipate consequences, and devise plans, all without knowing they are doing so.
Because you just naturally do it. Your brain is so advanced. If only we didn't ruin it. Okay. All right. Hope you're enjoying blowing your mind with all of the truth. All right, now, that doesn't mean that we have all the answers. That means that there are some things that are hard to answer, and sometimes we just throw our hands up and says, I don't have an answer. But I have enough for me to bring me back and go, I'm still trusting the Bible. I'm not blindly believing the Bible. All right.